Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Winters, thank you for coming on the program. I am so excited you're here in my studio. I don't know how I'm going to do this because...
Did you put this all together in therapy? I want to say this to your many fans, and say this to you directly, whether there's a camera back here or not. I watch you, and that's why I'm on the show. I knew there wasn't going to be a used Plymouth for me or something like that, or a set of toys that, you know, left over from Christmas or stolen from the Marines and Toys or Tots. Any rate, I said, I got to go on this show if the lady will have me on the show. Because a lot of people will say, and have, unfortunately, I don't know, you know, you've had a lot of problems.
I'd like to introduce to you the king of talk radio himself, Mr. Howard Stern. Wayne's World, Howard Stern, party on, excellent, woo, 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 woo.
Good to be with you, Wayne, on the world-famous Wayne's World.
The Wayne and Garth 2020 ticket didn't fare as badly as many people think. We did really well in Alaska, for example, with the Eskimos. Turns out the Eskimos really like Wayne's World. And also, I heard that Lorne Michaels voted for us, along with Tina Fey and Jimmy Fallon, and a couple of other of our friends from SNL, so that was cool. Oh, and of course, my wonderful, loving mother.
You want some chocolate chip cookies, honey?
Stop it, Mom. Don't be so embarrassing. I'm in the middle of a show with the king of talk radio, Howard Stern.
Wow, your mom sounds really hot, Wayne. Is she hot? How about her cookies? Are her cookies hot too?
Okay, well, thanks for that visual, Howard. Now I'm gonna have to hit the rewind button and try really hard to get that thought out of my head forever. Okay, trying really hard now to remain on topic. Even with the Eskimo vote, and of course our friends from SNL, and my wonderful hot mom. Damn it, Howard!
I'd say we take a page from their playbook on the left, now that I've jumped ship to protect this country from their insanity. I say we take a page from that playbook and we demand sanctuary cities where we live. We rise up as we the people in our communities and say, we're declaring our community, our county, our city, a sanctuary city for the Constitution of the United States, protecting this nation from your threat. Let me show you how crazy it is. I'm talking to the council. He tries to make me wear a mask when we have sex. Oh my God. I know, right? No, I'm not saying that I'm not saying you're right. I'm saying, oh my God, I can't believe, Connie, you want to have unprotected kissing. You are irresponsibly sick, Connie. You are sick that you are sick that you would expect your husband to put his mouth on your lips when he's just trying to have marital relations with you. You are sick that you expect him to put his mouth on your lips. He tells me you are refusing. He tells me also, Connie, that you are refusing to be vaccinated. Is that true? Are you refusing to be vaccinated? Of course I'm refusing, because of course I'm not a retarded sheep.
Going to probably be frequenting the Waffle House. But you know, I'm a patriotic American and I do what I have to do, you know, for this country and for you. I just want you to know. So don't forget that when you see me doing some ridiculous overpriced spending on uncomfortable shoes at Dillard's, Nordstrom's, and Macy's in the mall. But you guys will know, you'll always know the truth, and that is that I wear, of course, Indian moccasins, because I'm 1/32nd Native American, okay? So don't forget that. nice husband.
Yes, you are. What'd you get?
I don't know, some cafe latte bullshit. Cafe latte, what's that?
It's coffee and milk, Larry.
Coffee and milk! Coffee and milk! Who would have thought? Of course, you can't charge $4 for coffee and milk. You have to come up with something else than that. Cafe latte.
Well, it's really good coffee and milk.
It's a really good scam is what it is, Cheryl. Pretty good scam. You know, we gotta get into the beverage racket, Cheryl, we do.
You think so? Hey, but you know what? I'm tired of the caffeine. Let's do something like fresh lemonade.
Lemonade.
Yeah.
I can do lemonade, but we can't charge $4 for a small lemonade, alright?
That's a good point.
You gotta call it, Aqua Limon! Aqua Limon!
You know what? I actually like the sound of that.
You like it?
do.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
I do.
Sounds
That's not
refreshing.
bad.
Sounds
Excuse me.
When I'm through with you, ain't nobody gonna give a Fox and Friends fuck what you have to say. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, when he's 90 years old and gets out of jail, will be selling more CDs than you at his chocolate jello pudding sorority sleepover party.
Alright, the American Bald Society, of which, as you know, I am a member.
Oh, I know.
I just want to make this clear.
I know.
We categorically reject Britney Spears as a member.
You know, I really cannot keep up with all of your silly rules anymore. I can't.
They're not silly, I'm informed.
They're
I'm an
silly.
informed Jew.
They're silly. You know, what about cancer patients, Larry? What about people going through chemo? Did you think about that? Does the American Bald Society reject them too?
It's a pretty good question, Cheryl.
Yes, it is.
Pretty good question. Smarty pants. Can you give me a week? I'm gonna have to check with a Christian Scientist. I'm gonna check with a Christian Scientist on that
On the bald issue.
and get back to you.
All right, you know, in closing, I just want to say the reason that I continue to produce this show, and it takes a lot of my time, and I love doing it. All right, and that's one of the reasons. But specifically, why I have done so for many years now is to do my best to wake more of you up to the threat to peace and liberty that humanity faces from two areas. Primarily two areas. Two major threats I'm trying to do my best to wake you up about. Number one being global elites bent on world control who are partnering now with communist China to create a world dictatorship, mass surveillance, forced dangerous vaccines, making you a guinea pig, and seeing you as a captured corporate commodity, basically a slave. And number two, the dangerous threat from organized religion. Primarily, what I mean by that is the Bible and the Koran, which have been the earliest form of fraudulent mass media. Organized religion, the Bible, the Koran, has been the earliest form of what we see today with mass media, but it started back then with the Bible and the Koran. The pollution of what spirituality really is, the bastardization of it. That was the earliest form of elite fear-based, dishonest propaganda for thousands of years. The false man-made propaganda of organized religion also, interestingly enough, has had a one-world control agenda and has caused more wars and genocide than from any other source, and continues to be the primary thing standing in the way of world peace. and the correct understanding of spirituality. That correct understanding being that we are all, in all of our diversity, a holy part of what God is. That's not what the Bible and the Quran teaches. It teaches that you're completely separate, that you're evil by nature, you're going to go to hell unless you believe this certain way. All this fall of man bullshit. Okay? And it makes you think that you're bad. And if you're conditioned and constantly told that you're bad and evil, well, what are you going to think? If you're thinking that way, garbage in, garbage out. The truth is, you need to wake up and understand that you're a holy part of what God is. That's the true understanding of spirituality. And what that is not an ego trip. It's extremely humbling. And as you wake up to that, you realize you have an obligation to live the golden rule, to love others the way you want to be loved. And that's what's going to bring world peace. And see, organized religion has harmed so many with its false image of God. This whole God needed a bloodlust to be satisfied. The animal sacrifices all throughout the Old Testament to satisfy God's bloodlust. What a freaking nightmare. And they teach this to little children. I was traumatized with it as a child. I'm sure many of you watching were. They teach that story that Abraham, was going to sacrifice his son Isaac on the altar because he heard the voice of God. God was commanding him, and it was just a test. It's just sick, unbelievable sick teachings that we get at such early ages, and it's caused people to completely see humanity in the wrong way, okay? And they think that they have to define the planet based on their religious beliefs. And you see a lot of this coming from the right now, as I've had to move to the right to support them because the Democratic Party has been hijacked. It's amazing how much more now I'm having to be exposed to their tendency to think that it's the Bible that solves everything. And if we just pray and, this is the end times and God's going to come and Jesus is going to come on a horse from the sky, a white horse in the clouds, and it's going to save everybody and everybody else is going to be condemned to hell. This is the end times. You see how sick that is? It's crazy. And we have to get past this, and we need a spiritual renaissance for people to awaken to the fact that we are who God is. And when we awaken to that, we begin to live that love to everyone, to all diversity. And it will bring world peace when we wake up to this and get past these divisions that organized religion, these deadly, genocidal divisions that organized religion has caused throughout most of our history so far. So those two things, the global elites bent on world control and, organized religion, the big three bent on the same thing, are the reason that I produced this program in trying to wake people up. And I can tell you this for sure in closing. If our grandparents and our great-grandparents were here today, they too would be gently shaking you, telling you, it's time to wake up now. It's time to wake up now. You can't keep hitting the snooze alarm. They'd be warning you to stop being a weak, conforming sheep, acquiescing and conforming to this corrupt system that sees you as a captured corporate commodity and that does not have your interest at heart, that's trying to destroy your sovereignty, trying to destroy freedom and liberty and make you completely dependent on its control. It's time for you to wake up and be the strong American wolf that you were meant to be. And not just for your sake, but for your children and your grandchildren to come. Thanks for tuning into the show. We'll talk to you soon.
We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizen can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals.